All right, John Carroll and BraveSoul, thank you so much for performing today. This was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, man, it was a blast.
Thank you for asking us. We had a really good time.
Yeah, first of all, I know, John, you've been writing, performing for a long time now. I was just wondering, how did this current iteration of your music kind of develop with BraveSoul?
Well, my wife and I moved here about 6 years ago from Washington, D.C. area, and I've had various groups over the years, and I just kind of thought, for some reason, I had this word in my head and a feeling in my heart, brave soul. Like, we all need to be brave souls. Whether times are good or times are bad, you need to be a brave soul. And I kind of like the sound of that. And one of the first people that I ran into up here and started to play with, new people up here already, because I've been coming up and through here since 1987, actually. It was the first time I came to town. But one of the first people I ran into over Bishops, I guess, was Dan Thomas here. And he just sort of, yeah, man, glad you're in town. And I said, so these guys are playing in there? Well, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? He said, well, that's that's Chris Ball. He plays a different. And I think we got together like one time and had breakfast over at Cafe Mosaic, I think. And maybe we were at Sierra Grill.
Maybe both.
And we just kind of, I said, so this is what I want to do. I have a lot of songs. I've always been sort of a big fan of funky music. I love funk. I love R&B, but I also like really good songs. And I try and find a niche where a song is saying maybe something a little more than just being a dance record or something. Although I love dance records. The Sly and the Family Stone is probably my favorite band of all time, and I'll stand on Paul McCartney's duvet and say that. I just think that the funky players who know their music, who are literate, they basically are musically literate, can read, you can do arrangements, they'll see it and bring their own greasy souls to it. That's what I liked, and Dan's helped me sort of find folks around, and it's been a real friend to me since being up here.
And you said you started coming up here in the Valley, '87. What do you love about the Valley? What prompted you to move up here, and what do you enjoy about the music scene up here?
I came here the first time with Mary Chapin Carpenter. We were, I think, doing one of the first Save the Iron Horse benefits.
Okay.
And even then, I remember sitting in the car on the street, just kind of looking at the people, thinking, "This looks different than Washington, D.C." and I just kind of started thinking, actually, back in those days, one of these old days, I might like to live here. And then I caught up with the woman I married, Meredith, who has a brother here, O'Brien, who owns Sierra Grill and Building 8 Brewery, and there was a reason to sort of come up here. So years later, but one thing kind of led to another, and I had been living outside of Washington, D.C., and I don't get me wrong, I really I go back to Washington, D.C. fairly often, but you can only be so many places for so long during any season of a year,
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of touring, so just kind of thought this would be we finally came up here, and my mother-in-law lives here over Linda Manor, and she's 96 years young, and so we're all kind of up here enjoying the small aspects and the large talent, and just good folks, good folks. I'm sure what I said about Dan. There's 24 other people I can say that about him, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a small town, and we feel each other's currents. I like that.
And I was just wondering. I know you played a number of newer songs. Are you guys planning a new album in the future? Or?
I am, yeah, and we are, and I would like it very much to be a BraveSoul album. I've got a lot of songs underway already. I'm going to be raising some funds to try and bring it outside of this studio and into some other studios. And I very much would like to record with these guys, and we have already actually. We have there's a tune I put up the other day of "Soldier On" for Memorial Day.
And everything costs more too.
Everything costs more when you're poor. That's up on the YouTube and on my site, johncarroll.org. So you can hear a lot of the tracks. And there's a track that Jared recorded at the Parlor Room last time we were there, 13 Steps to Regret. And yeah, I'm raising some money to do that. I have a nice space over in East Hampton where I'm living right now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So lastly, do you have any local gigs
hi to
coming
everybody
up?
at Eastworks. Yeah. Let's see. What's next? Going to be opening for Joan Osborne at Iron Horse on the 23rd of June during the Strong and Pleasant Music Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday afternoon, we'll be playing at Progressive Brewery, new place. I'm going to do a solo set there. I like to play solo as well. Enjoy playing with a band most of all. And let's see, what else is coming up? A few things. Check the website. It's always there. I always feel like I'm being put on the spot.
Yeah.
But, those things are indeed coming up, like right away. And I've also been starting to teach a little bit at the Prindle School.
Oh.
In East Hampton, which I'm really excited
excellent.
about. Yeah. Yeah, you get to a certain point in your life where it's like, gee, all you got to kind of do is sort of, somebody wants to know what it is that you've been doing for the past 40 years. Well, I'm happy to show you.
Well, thank you so much again for performing on Sessions. That was
It's
really
wonderful to be here,
magnificent
Chris.
set.
Thanks so much. Thanks,
Yeah, it was a
Valley
pleasure,
Advocate. Really great.
Yes.
Yeah, so much.
That's enough questions for Mr. Carroll today.